Good morning, Center Hope. It is a beautiful, bright, and sunny day today, and you know what? It's a little on the chilly side, but things are in fact melting, as you can see, like right there, a bunch of water. Which means, you know what? Winter is slowly coming to an end, spring is almost here, and who isn't looking forward to a nice, beautiful spring? That got me thinking. About a year ago, I posted a video called "In Dark Days, Give Thanks." And that was a bit of a odd thing for people to read and maybe watch. And I gotta say, while I was saying it, it was a little bit strange to say until we got into the biblical reasoning behind that. And I'm not gonna dive into the whole meaning behind what I said there. If you wanna watch that video, I'll try to put a link in the description below, and you can maybe check out that video. But it did get me thinking a little bit about something along that lines, because like I said, it's been a year. We've been doing this pandemic thing for a year, and well, it's starting to wear on people, or continuing to wear on people, or just getting really, really bad. So I wanted to bring you another message today that would hopefully pick you up, help you out, and keep you moving through this terrible pandemic. I believe we're going to be seeing the end of this soon. I'm hoping with the vaccines that are coming out, I certainly hope that we're going to be coming to the end, and the light at the end of the tunnel is coming. Now, I want to tell you about an old hymn. Wait. You want to tell me about a hymn? That's what this is about? Just calm down. Listen. I want to tell you about this hymn, and I was never a big fan of hymns, okay? Didn't really care for them. I thought they were boring. The music was really slow and monotonous. I did not like them. And then I found out the story behind this particular hymn. And I think it's one that some of you might be familiar with, some of you maybe not, but the hymn is called "It Is Well With My Soul." The opening goes like this. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, it has taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Let me tell you a story. At least the story of how that hymn came into being. We're going to go back to the 1860s, and we're going to go to Chicago with a man named Horatio Spafford. Now, Horatio was a Christian, his wife was a Christian, and they were very wealthy. They were doing very well. Horatio had several businesses that were doing very well at the time. He was a hard worker, cared about his workers, did a lot of good things for his community, loved his city, and things were going very well for them. His wife, Anna, and 5 kids were all living there. They're having a good time. They were doing well until 1870. And in 1870, their son died of scarlet fever. Now, I've not lost a child, and I really don't ever want to experience that. I've lost a parent, and that was hard enough. I cannot imagine the terrible feelings and things that Anna and Horatio went through when they lost their son. And I would love to say that that's as bad as their story got. It didn't. Let's continue. Shortly after their son died in 1870, the Great Chicago Fire came. And when the Great Chicago Fire came, it destroyed a whole lot of that city. Now, I've been to Chicago and walked the streets, and I saw some of the desolation that had happened because they still have some of the stuff up there. A lot of Chicago was made of wood. You start it on fire, there's not going to be a lot left. In fact, there were 90,000 people homeless after the Great Chicago Fire. And not only did it wipe out homes, it wiped out businesses. It actually hurt Horatio and his family too, because it wiped out their investments, their holdings. All of their life savings were gone, wiped out because of this fire and trying to rebuild things. The only thing that remained with them was their house. And their house was a pretty good sized house. They were doing well, so they had a big house. So what they did was opened up their doors, and they fed as many families as they could to make sure that people were looked after. They even opened up rooms so people could stay in there until people started to get back on their feet. These guys wanted to show Christ's love to their neighbors and to everybody who needed it by opening up their very homes and giving their own stuff just to make sure that people are looked after. Well, Horatio slowly started to build his business back up too. Remember I said he was a hard worker? Well, he wasn't going to be left on the sidelines after losing all this. No, he started working. He worked hard and hard and hard, and like 7 days a week. I don't even know how many hours a week he was working, but he worked his butt off until 1873, when things were finally starting to go again. Things were looking well for them, and Horatio said to his wife, "You know what? I've had enough. I need a vacation." And Anna said, "Yeah, I believe that you do, and I think we could all use a break too, because it'd be nice to get to know you again after not seeing you for the past 3 years because you've been working so much. Let's take that vacation." So they decided to go on a European vacation, Horatio, Anna, and their 5 daughters. So they plan this thing, and everything is all going the way that they're supposed to be going. And they're on the dock, they're walking down to the ship, they've got all their luggage, they're walking towards there, when they hear this thump, 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 thump. And Horatio turns around to see this guy in a 3-piece suit running down the dock, screaming his name, "Horatio! Horatio!" And he just kind of does one of these, ugh. It was his second in command. He's like, something is not right. Well, the guy runs up to Horatio. He's panting. He's out of breath. He's like, I'm so glad I got you. There's a big problem back at work, and we need you, man. We need you to come back." And Horatio's like, "I'm leaving. I'm going on vacation." He's like, "Man, if you don't get back here, I don't know how we're going to get through this." So Horatio looks at Anna and says, "You know what? I've got to go back to the office for a little bit. You guys go ahead. Take the ship. Go over there. I'll catch up to you in a couple days. I'll grab another ship and I'll see you there." So reluctantly, they do that. Anna and the 5 girls get onto the boat and they take off. Well, it wasn't too long until Horatio got this message. This cable came in, and the message was this: "In England, all is lost. What do I do?" It was a message from his wife. See, what had happened was, while their ship was crossing the sea to go over to England, it was struck by another ship, and it sank in 12 minutes. And the only one who survived of Horatio's family was Anna. All 5 girls perished. They all died in that spot. Horatio, finding this message, drops everything, of course, and cables back, "I'm on my way." Drops everything, runs down, gets a ticket, jumps on a ship, and starts going across the sea. And what does all that have to do with the song? This is what it has to do with it. He says to the captain, "You know the ship that just went down?" "Yeah. My daughters were on that ship and they died. Can you please let me know when we are at the location of where that ship went down?" Captain thought it was a bit of an odd request, but he wasn't going to say no, so he let Horatio know. And it was at that moment that when the captain let him know where they were, that Horatio started writing that song, "It is well with my soul." See, he could have been mad, he could have been angry, he could have been hurt, and I'm sure he was all of those things, but most of all, he understood that no matter what happened, God still had him, and he now had his daughters, but he's still going to look after himself and his wife Anna. And he wrote that entire song, "It is well with my soul," on that spot. I encourage you to go listen to it, look up the lyrics. It'll mean something completely different to you now. Well, he got over to England, rejoined Anna, and I'm not even sure. I don't think they ever came back over to Chicago again. I don't even think they stepped foot back over in America. I think they actually, from what I understand, went to Africa and became missionaries to continue to tell people about God's love. Wait a minute. He just had everything ripped out of his life. The most important things in his life are gone, his kids. And he wants to go tell people about God's love? Yeah, because he understood no matter how bad it got, it is still well with his soul, that God is in control. he knows that God is the one that was looking after him. And I know that he had to lean on God quite a bit during this hard time. And that comes us back around full circle to where we are now. That's why I wanted to bring that story up to you guys, God. We are still in a bad time right now. We are still not doing well, and there are a plethora of things going on in our lives. Maybe not as big as losing 5 kids all at once, but maybe it feels that big. Maybe things are coming at us. There's 100 little things, but they're all hitting us all at once, and you're starting to feel it, and you're starting to feel overwhelmed, or maybe you're continuing to feel overwhelmed. But I want to encourage you with this. No matter what's happening, he is still well with your soul, Lord. He is with you. He will never not be with you. He will always be there. I love that hymn now. I've had to listen to it a few times to help me through some difficult situations. And believe me, it helps. Understanding that God is there, will always be there. And he loves you guys. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Now, I hope that makes sense. That's an incredible story that I'd love to tell about Horatio. And I wanted to lift you up because I wanted him to be an example of no matter what happened, you can still know that God's going to be on your side and look after you. All right, that's it for the day. Hope you're having a wonderful rest of the day. I look forward to seeing you again. And as always, if you want to leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of the videos. Maybe something that you want to hear about, something that you'd like to see. We're open for comments in that way as well. Please do that. And if you like the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Thanks.